Well, hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing part 5 of what if a deku had transfer quirk. Let's get into it. Last time we left off, it was Zuko right in front of the gate, and he walks in, pretty much as normal. This time he's not gonna meet Uraka at this time, so he just keeps going on in. As he's taking a seat, he sees to his left his friends, and to his right, she just sat down, Juro. And they did a small talk, and the assembly was about to start. And Zuko actually looks down in front of him, and he saw a blonde, spiky haired kid. So he just took a glance of his corner of his face, and of course, it's Kachan. Oh, okay. So Zuko just pretty much tapped on his shoulder, and Bakugo kind of flinched, so he was about to because he still has the anger issue of some sort. But yeah, I'll just give him that. And so he was pretty much going to blow and whatever kid's hand off, and Zuko pretty much grabbed his arm and kind of twisted back. His hand twisted back against his arm, and Bakugo was saying, "Hey, stop!" And when he looked up, he said, "Zuko," or or Deku, depends which one you want to call him. And Zuko pretty much said, "Hey, Kachan, see you're entering." And they did small talk as well. As this is going on, President Mike is explaining about the 1, 2, and 3 pointer, and Ida just pretty much stood up and turned around and pointed at Zuko, saying, "You're being destructive in this area." Same thing as he does in canon. And he was about to go and say something to President Mike, and Zuko pretty much stand up and say, "Hey, first, what is wrong with me talking to my friends in a quiet voice? That's something you're not supposed to be hearing. And two, and with the 0 pointer, it's obvious that it was a obstacle to avoid." And he sat down. Well, Zeku pretty much said, "I'm sorry, President Mike," and he sat down. And President Mike said thank you to him, and told the tall blue boy to sit down. And he said, as he's going on his speech, as that boy said, the 0 pointer is just an obstacle course, so just avoid it at all costs. Okay? And so they go on and do their written test, and Deku. Everybody plays the same, but Kachan and Deku. Deku is on 3rd place, and Kachan is actually on 4th place. And so, where am I? As everybody pretty much leaving, Zuko is pretty much checking over on everything and making sure it's completely right and send it in. And so he was pretty much the last person to leave, and so he sees a lot of people in his area, and none of them are his friends. And the only person he knows of is that blue-haired kid that's pretty much annoying him. And so Deku look around, seeing everybody kind of shaking, worried, and kind of mumbling like they're afraid for something. And Deku pretty much assumed that they're scared that they might fail. So he did a trick that he learned. He pretty much stomped his right foot down, and a white, it's kind of like clear shockwave, but it's more like a light breeze. You feel it kind of enough, but you don't get pushed by it. So he did that and went about 2 meters away. 2 meters. That's pretty much 2 yards. And all around him. And he felt everybody's pain. And so he did it again on his left foot. And all that, the air that went around him, that was in the circle, pretty much went back to Deku. But this time, wherever it touched, it pretty much took the bad emotions. The ones that made them scared and shaking. and we're all back to Deku. So that's a new trick that Deku had learned. I'm giving him that. And so he felt that everybody looked calm, their faces look much better. And so Deku looks around and sees like two other kids that didn't feel it. It's the blue-haired kid and a brown-haired girl. So he was pretty much going to avoid that blue-haired kid. He seems like he is capable enough. And so he just like was actually going to walk to Uraka. Yes, her. And Ida, being stupid as he is, didn't read the situation. And so he was confronting, walked up to, or kind of ran up to Deku and asked, "What did you do to all those people?" And Ida was about to say some more stuff on why he's making it worse for everybody. But Deku said, "Hey, look around." And Ida is kind of shocked and looked around for some reason. And he sees that everybody's actually smiling and getting focused. And Ida asked, "What did you do to them?" And Deku said, "My quirk is my business. My business is my quirk." And he just walked off. He didn't even want to explain it to Ida at all. So he walked to Uraka and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's kind of shocked, flinch a bit, move back, turn around, and see a kid. So around 6. Yeah, I'll give him 6 foot. I'll give him that. And Deku said, "You seem nervous. Are you and you seem nervous." And she said, "Yeah, I'm nervous. We're gonna do the test with a 2% or a chance of passing." And Deku pretty much lay his hand on her shoulder. As he's gonna say something, he take away all the pain, and all he says is, "Everything's gonna be all right. You have trained, and you can do it." And then he just walk off, and she just feels so much calmer. Of course, because Deku took away the pain, but with those words, it made her think that she did it all herself. So President Mike is seeing this and telling all the teachers, should we give him points for helping them? And Nezu's there, and he's pretty much saying, let's give him 10 points, since he helped out all those kids. And so everybody agreed, and Zuko, in the very start, not even passing the line yet, and he already got points. So, as President Mike is pretty much saying, "Are you ready? Get set." And Deku saw the doors open, and he ran. And some kids actually ran up behind him. And Ida was about to say something, and then he heard "go," and he ran as well. And he heard 3, 2, 1, and go. Because President Mike is not going to say something to the kids that actually did it. So everything's going on normal in this part. Everybody's getting points. Zuko's actually getting points as well, since he's had an early start. He got about 25 points right now at that point. A few 1-pointers, 3-pointers, and 2-pointers. And he's getting a little tired, so he just pretty much stood and look around, and he sees a kid on his left that's showing a navel laser out of his stomach. And then after that disappears, he's pretty much holding his stomach and can't go any longer. And so Zuko pretty much ran to him using 20% of One for All, if I got it right, One for All, and ran to him, tapped his back, and pretty much said, "You're going to be okay." And he took away that very pain, and he just ran back away. And the kid pretty much just felt so much better and just stand up, look around, and he's pretty much I thought I saw someone. And so he just ignored it and just kept going. And so Deku's been doing that, helping out other kids as he's fighting robots, and he got about 50. Yeah, I'll give him 50 villain points, and he's actually every person he helps, it's 2 points. So right off the bat, he got another 10 points on heroes for saving people. And it's getting close to the end, and he starts feeling footsteps, big ones too, almost as big as Mount Ladies. And so he's looking around, and the kids are running away, and they're going the opposite direction. And so Zuko looks in the other way, and see the big see the 0 pointer, and he was about to go and attack it, but it's 0 points, so he just decided to run as well. And so he was about to take a step and like jump off, but he heard a scream. Nice. So Deku turned around, saw the girl screaming for help, and so he jumped and ran with 30%, and pretty much moved the robot off her. And he, at this point, she's looking at the robot instead of Deku, and she's pointing at it, and Deku turns around and sees it, and so it's about to crush them. And so Deku, it's like right on top of them, about 2 stories on top of them, and slowly going down. And that's pretty much like 5 seconds, and about crushed them. In that 5 seconds, Deku pretty much got her, healed her wherever needed to be healed, and moved and pretty much threw her as far as he can, about a block away. As she getting back, she turned around and looked, and Deku's actually getting crushed by the foot. And all the kids around her, even Ida, pretty much think that someone just died in the practicum. And a few seconds have passed by, and they were pretty much are thinking that he just died right in front of their eyes. And then they hear a crunch, kind of like that, and and they see the foot actually moving up. At first, they thought the foot it was going forward, but it's actually going back. And Deku's pushing it up and charging up as he's going all the way and stretching his arms all the way to the top. He's charging up one for all, up to 50%, because he doesn't really need 100. He just needs 50, and just 50%. And he's at this point, well, he's never done it before, but he's doing it without knowing to. He's his other quirks is actually mixing in with the lightning. So at first it was coming around as blue, and then red. The lightning is turning red, and then orange, and then yellow, and then purple, and then green, and then kept going like that. And then it's turning black and white. And some of the kids are saying, he's not dead. And is that a rainbow lightning? And they never saw that before. And so Zuko pretty much wind up his punch and wind up his right fist and punch the robot foot off him, pretty much moving it and making it fall back. And Zuko pretty much jumped as tall as the head is now, about 10 stories up, and did a destroy smash, aiming downward to make it the robot get compressed by the air and crushed down from 20 stories down to 10 stories, completely crushed. And so when he's falling, 5 stories, then 2, and then 1, and then crushed. And again, these kids are thinking that he pretty much died from that height, and there's no way that someone can survive from that height. And Zuko pretty much stood up in that 5 seconds, and cracking his knuckles, cracking his neck, and pretty much said, man, that was a good one. And he's just starting walking off. And so he's actually walking towards Uraraka and say, hey, are you okay? And she was about to say that same phrase to him, then she just saw him get crushed and fell from the tall building. And Zuko pretty much said, "So you're okay?" And he just walked off, pretty tired too. And the bell rings, and it's time for everybody to go. So a week has passed, and Deku got his letter. Well, Inko knocked on the door and pretty much told Zuko that the mail came in, and this is from UA. And so she was about to leave the room because she figured that he wants to hear it, watch it by himself. But Zuko said, "Hey, wait, I want everybody to see it." And she said, "Okay, let's wait for your." Oh,